Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy X-2. So, we just finished with that cutscene in the Thunder Plains. I tried to do a calibration minigame, and I'll be honest, it is just too hard. It's not for 100% completion, so... I tried and failed for half an hour, and I'm literally like, that's just cursed content, I'm not putting it up. So, we're just going to move on with Chapter 2, and we're going to move to the Macalania Woods, which is going to be our next stop in our percentage collection. And basically, Tobli has asked us to sell tickets, and now one of his assistants is looking for musicians to play. So we are basically setting up the entire freaking concert.
Oh, it's Tobli's assistant.
Would you mind doing us a favor?
So we just have to talk to him here, see this cutscene, and then we get to then start the mission.
We're seeking musicians for a troupe, yes. Where could they be?
So, you want us to help you find them?
We is counting on you, Gullwings. Thank you. If you find musician, give them this letter, yes?
So, we basically have to run through the Macalania Woods and find musicians. Basically the three guys that we had on the airship earlier. If you run to where Trouble was, you can talk to the first guy and initiate the mission. And his basic, gist is those magic butterflies that we chased in Final Fantasy X. His friends, the other musicians, turn into rings of those butterflies, and we have to search for them. So he tries to summon them, but they're asleep as butterflies, basically, and we have to run around the Macalania Woods and collect all the different rings of butterflies. Now, there are other rings that contain, like, baby versions of these guys, which, whatever reason that is.
Become butterflies and drift through the woods. If it is no trouble, why don't you seek them out and ask them yourself?
So, they're not hard to find. Two of them are kind of here to kind of show you, oh, these are what they basically look like. So you can run to this little ring over here to the left-hand side, and you get like a little baby version of the horn lady. And then you run to the other one that's also in this area, and you will see a little baby version of the drum man. And it's basically saying, yep, these are who you are looking for. And so essentially there's one other one that you kind of can see in the area just after running down here. There's a ring in the air, and you basically have to just run to that particular area and run and then jump through. And you will summon another little baby horn one, and then it will get teleported back to the area. And then run to the lake where Yuna and Tidus shared their first kiss, and you'll find one of the musicians you've actually to ask.
Who could the problem be? I have a favor to ask.
And then if you run to where we did the celestial weapons, that's where we get the other one. So just at the fork of the road with the celestial weapons, that's where we're looking for the other big guy with the drums. And now that we've asked them and we've gotten all the other little rings of butterflies, we get a speed bracer and a mission complete for some completion percentage. So I'll just let the cutscene play.
My friends do not seem to object. We will help you, Tobli.
We shall present a great event.
We'll get 'em all a real gas, you'll see, eh?
Yes, It will be a brilliant finale for our doomed kind.
Doomed?
If only all the faith had stayed, the woods would never ever fade.
But it looks like we'll be meeting our end someday soon.
And so with that we get a mission complete and the haste bangle accessory. Very, very useful. And before we leave Macalania, we actually don't want to return to the Celsius, so we're going to say no because we have another garment grid we get to collect. So if we run all the way back to Tobli's assistant in the beginning of Macalania, we're just going to super speed through this. But if we manage to make it all the way back to Tobli's assistant, we get to get the Bitter Farewell garment grid, which is super, super cool. And yeah, so that's actually just about all the different areas in Spira looked at again, which is quite cool. I'm going to just do another little section of like the next video in episode 16 where we'll look at the different PR sections, just because there isn't actually that much left in chapter 2. So we'll just look at that now for a split second. But while we're in Macalania, we're going to just actually skip over to Bevelle, just to show you what can happen if you try and go there once you've sided with the Youth League. And long story short, it is a lot of fights, and like the game even like tries its best to be like, listen, no, do not come this way, we do not want to speak to you, because obviously they are super not happy with us siding with the Youth League and like betraying New Yevon. But the enemies are by no means difficult, but it's just a bit of content that I just figured, look, I might as well show you guys what the consequence is. And like when we get the 100%, I might even just do a quick, you know, New Game Plus and just choose the other option of, you know, giving it to the New Yevon, and then just showing you guys what that sort of alteration would look like. But like at this stage, I'm just also showing you with the Alchemist, you're getting 2000 heal for every party member. Like, you're never going to die. There's never any sort of way you're going to die unless your Alchemist dies, in which case just give her extra defense buffs and extra you know, HP. But yeah, this guy is like, there is no point in going forward, we're not letting you go any further. And even this guy is like, why are we attacking the High Summoner? Oh my god, this is crazy. And he doesn't want to fight us, but we then get like a bigger, badder enemy. And yeah, with I'm even like casting Mighty Guard, even though I'm like, why do I need to? We can just you know, attack with our gun mages. But a little later in chapter 2, we're going to get like the best, I suppose, offensive sphere for, well, one of the top 2 anyway. But like between the gun mage giving support, the alchemist giving pure healing, and then there's other Dressphere that we can get a bit later, we're going to be absolutely fine in terms of damage. So he basically gives you a forced cutscene where you're kind of forced to turn back and leave, and then even the guards are like, you were ran out of Bevelle? That's so terrible. So like, yeah, it's like not everyone in New Yevon wants to like hurt Yuna, but they won't let you go to like speak to Barreleye or anything, and that's about as far as you get. So hopping back on, we're actually going to skip Gargazet. We've done Calmlands with Clasco, and here we have, you know, Zanarkand still in the height of, you know, tourist attractions, and basically Yuna isn't going to have that. Yuna is in no mood for that. Yuna is going to... This mission basically is Yuna's attempt to kind of reclaim Zanarkand as like her place, and her personal memories of, you know, Tidus and the sacrifice they made to like change the world, you know? So you run along and you get to the corridor before the Chamber of the Faith, and Isaru basically tells us that they had to close down operations up to here because the monkeys were a super duper problem. So it's our job to now play matchmaker with the monkeys so that they overpopulate and run everybody out.
We had to close down.
So Pop got told off by Uni and outsmarted by monkeys. That's gotta hurt.
Oh. Well, I must be going.
Now you behave yourselves.
Hey, if there were more of these little guys, you think the place would empty out?
It just might.
So it is quite a weird little side quest, and it was like a lot of running back and forth. So I'm just going to be cutting out all the middle bits and just show you where to find the first monkey and find its partner. So here we have the first monkey here in Lady Yunalesca's area, and he is Birch, and then you bring Birch to the area with Zion's Faith and you find his match in Sycamore. You find Spring in the area where Yunalesca was, and you bring it to the Cloister of Trials and match it with Autumn. You then go to the corridor and find Dusk, and then you run back to the Lady Yunalesca arena and match it with Dawn. You then grab Rosemary and you're going to match her with Time in the area by the elevator. You go to the little screen there and you match Terran with Sky at Lady Yunalesca's arena. You grab Minnie and match her with Max. Max is over by the screen. So they all kind of have little parallel names, you know? And so the next one is Summer, and you're going to match it with Winter out in the corridor. Then you're going to grab Peak, and you're going to match with Valley. For ages I was saying Pecky, and I was like, what does that even have to mean? But it's Peaky and Valleys, you know, peaks and valleys. So Canis and match with Felina in the corridor, so dogs and cats basically. And then Arrow in by the elevator and match it with Quiver, because quivers go in arrows, bit gross, but or arrows go in quivers rather. And the last one is Gold with Silver. And then finally Luna with the Soul in the chamber with all the chests. And, you know, also kind of fitting that the last one is the Sol, meaning sun, and like this is where we got the sun crest with Titus, you know. And that's basically this little minigame finished, and essentially all the tourists in chapter 3 are going to be gone. They've all been run out of Zanarkand, and we get the soul of Thomas, an absolutely amazing accessory for black mages. We get to start collecting the syndicate uniforms because we've actually finished everything else in the chapter 2. So going to the Djose Temple, and once again I will hop back and I will do the PR and matchmaking in this area, but we get to see Leblanc's goons having a bit of a run around. So if we follow them, we then learn that they've lost a sphere and they have to basically take their time to find it again. And we're going to just snap that up.
That's weird. Where did we drop that thing?
We gotta find that sphere or the boss will be furious. We might even get the heal.
Why don't you stop complaining and help me look?
Hey, did you hear that? Let's find it first.
Someone's turning Yuna into a bad girl.
Who?
The obliviousness is pretty bad, Riku. But yeah, we are going to go get that sphere that they've lost. These really aren't hard missions. It's just the fact that you have no idea where you're going to find these goons to get the uniforms, because they don't give you like outright hotspots, so it is kind of a shot in the dark of finding where you're meant to go. But literally just run along, and we actually get Yuna's ultimate Dressphere, the Floral Fallal. And we have to fight Ormi and Logos.
What? You're not giving it back?
And just for a bit of flair, just for a bit of flair, we're going to actually we're going to use Yuna's Floral Fallal to win this fight.
And on that note, take it back.
So we fight them with one goon, female goon, and we're gonna just take the time to change around the Dresspheres. And we're going to just give ourselves the Matador's boost to up our evasion. Give ourselves a Mighty Guard. So for like a split second I was like, oh, well, I see if they can like stop, but then I kind of go, actually no, I've just unlocked Floral Fallal. Let's like have it get some EXP and show off the cool transformation. So unfortunately, the guys are immune to stop. That's a bit of a pain. But they will not be immune to the absolute carnage that Floral Fallal takes part in. And then after this episode, I'm going to just take the time to fully level up all of Floral Fallal's abilities. Now, we need to wait till chapter 5. We need to kind of unlock key items. A bit like the Songstress Dressphere, there are certain abilities of Floral Fallal that is locked behind getting a key item into your inventory before you can even learn those particular abilities. But it's for Ribbon, and it's for break damage limit. Or is it break HP limit and break damage limit? It's basically the break abilities. But yeah, Yuna, like, I never understood why they didn't just give Yuna her old summoner outfit again and like just let her have like abilities maybe linked to like the Aeon abilities, or just like powerful like holy spells or whatever. But she just gets multi-elemental attacks and she comes out of a flower. So who's to say why or what? But we still have the effects of Super Mighty Guard, which is super good. We have like abilities like to give us Reflect and Shell and things. And then we also have like White Pollen to give like an AoE heal. And we also have the High Evasion from the Songstress spell. So like everything Yuna has given as she's kind of getting ready to get into Floral Fallal stays, which is great. And obviously the base HP is like massive. And the different whirls, whether they be electric whirl or whatever the case may be, they are just chain attacks that do like solid damage. And again, we've now learned Libra, so that's quite good. And we also do status effects that give damage and like Berserk or different abilities like putting them to sleep and whatnot. So, you know, very, very useful abilities all around. I mean, that's why they're ultimate spheres, I guess. And with that, we've scared off the gang, collected a sphere, and taken a uniform for our collection. So 1 down, 3 to go. And that's going to be our episode, guys. Hope you enjoyed and look forward to the next part. Talk to you soon. Bye.